There are days when I wake up full of hope, days when I think, today I'm going to be organized. Today I'm going to be an adult. Today I win the day. I think I'm going to be one of those people who actually follows a 5-year plan and understands what a profit margin is. But the universe looks at me, gives me a slightly sarcastic chuckle, and replies, "Relax, champ. You won't. You can barely manage your own calendar, let alone your life." It all started first thing in the morning, because of course it did. I woke up like Tass always, because my alarm is an optimist who genuinely believes 5 minutes will make a difference. And I decided the best way to compensate for being late would be to act fast. Act with speed and purpose, like a poorly organized action movie protagonist. I thought, should I make my bed and have a Zen start? Should I pick out a thoughtful outfit? Also no. Should I have a dignified breakfast? Never. My breakfast was pure, unadulterated panic. Simply ran out the door, as if I were fleeing the planning police. Was 100% focused on the destination and 0% focused on the process. And then, on the way, as I rushed to catch the elevator, which was already closing, and yes, I slapped the door, I had the first revelation. I realized my shirt was inside out, but by then, it was too late. I was 40 seconds from the street and 10 minutes past my deadline. See, we reached that level of chaos where you can't turn back. You just accept the mistake as part of the outfit. It becomes a fashion statement. Yes, the seams are visible. It's intentional. It's a deconstructed look that represents my chaotic state of mind. Nobody believes it, but that's what I tell myself. And the worst part, the shirt was black, so it was a subtle error. But one that completely destabilized me mentally for the rest of the day. In the middle of this completely upside-down day, wearing my fashionably wrong shirt, I made the choice that sealed my fate and forced me to confront humanity. I went to the grocery store. Whenever I leave the house without a plan, without a list, without a specific purpose, something happens. And it usually involves a public dose of humiliation. I just wanted to make a nice dinner. Not a Michelin star dinner, but an adult dinner, with colorful vegetables and maybe some fish. I was trying to impress someone, or maybe just trying to prove to myself that I was a functional human being. Spoiler alert, nobody was impressed by the end of this story. And I proved the opposite. The first part of the grocery run was smooth, for exactly 3 seconds, because then I found the produce section. And this is where the mask of functional adult completely falls off. Not the fruit itself, but the people who know how to choose fruit. It's a social micro-trauma. Have you noticed? They do everything with absolute certainty. They pick up the avocado, turn it, smell the tip, tap it, analyze the weight with a look of disdain, as if they are approving a candidate for Hogwarts. They possess a secret knowledge about ripeness that I will never acquire. I tried to do the same, just to blend in. I stood there, motionless for 90 seconds, watching a guy in a denim jacket examining a mango. I took a deep breath, picked up an avocado, and gave it a little tap. My tap was so unmotivated, so hesitant, that the avocado seemed to give up on life right there. it got softer. I felt like it looked at me and said, "That's it? You don't have the conviction to squeeze me properly." Then a woman appeared. One of those women who has Mother Earth energy with fruit. She saw me panicking, holding the soft avocado, and said, "Need help, dearie?" And my automatic response, my defense mechanism against humiliation, was to reply, "No, thank you. I know how to handle." Produce. That sentence hurt me as I said it. She just smiled pityingly and moved on, carrying 3 perfectly spherical watermelons with the tips of her fingers. I walked forward, desperately trying to regain my dignity and the rhythm of my breathing until I reached the wine aisle. And there he was, the most elegant man I had ever seen outside of the internet. Casual suit, impeccable hair. He wasn't just buying wine. He was negotiating a peace treaty between nations. He swirled the bottle as if analyzing the Earth's rotation and the impact of gravity on the harvest. I, of course, copied him. I tried to imitate his wrist flick. And here lies my amateur mistake. The bottle I chose was a $10 wine with a screw cap. The moment I swirled it, it made a dry, scraping noise of a screw being unscrewed. There was no silent, respectful swoosh of a fine Bordeaux. There was the creak, creak, creak of something cheap. To make matters worse, it kept spinning on my finger like a sad fidget spinner, an infantile toy, while the wine man next to me looked over his shoulder with silent judgment worth more than my rent. After that, I accepted that my life would not be an Italian wine commercial. I am the sad fidget spinner guy. I went to the checkout line, and this is important. I am always nervous at the checkout. Always. That person is just doing their job. But my brain swears it's a job interview for which I haven't prepared. The final confrontation between the consumer and the system. The line was huge. I was sweating, and I didn't know where to put my hands. On the cart, in my pockets. Should I cross my arms? Should I pretend I'm studying the chemical composition of gum on the shelf next to me? I was practicing every micro-expression of anxiety that exists. When it was my turn, the cashier smiled and said, "Good evening," with the energy of someone who took an intensive sympathy course and now has a quota of smiles to meet. And I, in total panic, replied, "Good morning." I paused. An agonizing silence followed. I corrected, "Good evening." I got tangled up, trying to provide a philosophical justification for my error. Or, "Good afternoon." It depends, right? On the time zone we're living in internally. Sorry, I'm just not good with times. I finished the sentence with a look of desperation. The cashier just blinked slowly, like someone who has seen too much and is just waiting for their shift to end. Her look said, "It's okay, dear. You're the 70th person to do that today." And then came the climax. She held my screw cap wine bottle and asked, "Will you be taking the glass, too, honey?" And my soul left my body for 3 seconds. I thought she was offering a glass of wine, like an elegant toast. A sophisticated gesture from an upscale market. Congratulations on surviving the produce section. Have a sip. No. She was talking about a straw holder. A bamboo straw holder that was on promotion near the register. next to the batteries and the gum. And I, at the height of my social stupidity, with my dignity in tatters, replied, "Yes, please." As if that completed the French tasting set I was attempting to assemble, I left the grocery store, simultaneously victorious and humiliated, clutching the bamboo straw holder. And the final irony, which destroyed me when I got home, I don't own any straws. And at that moment, I realized I am not a sophisticated adult. I am not a master baker. I'm just someone trying to survive my own internal chaos and trying to look normal for more than 5 minutes. And that's okay. I failed every test of adult life in under 10 minutes. Moral of the story: if you also lose debates against fruit, don't know if it's morning or night, and have bought something useless at the checkout just to avoid looking awkward, congratulations! You are officially part of the club of improvised adults. Our motto is simple: we don't know what we're doing, but we're trying. And at least we have a straw holder to store our remaining dignity. I also can't choose fruit. If you relate, subscribe. Cheer.